In Hinduism, cosmology, religion, and science are intricately interwoven to form an inseparable whole. Recognized as one of the oldest concepts in human history, it offers a profound understanding of the nature of the universe and humanity. Hindu cosmology not only explains the structure and order of the universe, but also guides humanity on its spiritual journey. In this context, cosmology and religion are two fundamental elements that complement each other in Hinduism. Hindu cosmology envisions a system in which the universe is continuously created and destroyed in infinite cycles. These cycles define specific periods and phases of time known as Yugas, which include Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga and Kali Yuga, each representing different levels of spiritual consciousness and social order. This cyclical concept of time reinforces the Hindu belief that the universe is in a constant state of transformation, with each transformation bearing the imprint of its predecessor. Central to Hindu cosmology is the concept of Brahman, the source of all existence and the ultimate reality of the universe. Brahman represents fundamental truth and supreme reality, and forms the deep metaphysical and philosophical underpinnings of Hinduism. The different manifestations of Brahman, namely Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are responsible for the functions of creation, preservation, and destruction. These deities symbolize the cyclical nature and constant change of the universe. Hindu cosmology also has a deep relationship with science. Ancient Indian texts are full of advanced knowledge in fields such as mathematics, astronomy, and physics. These texts use mathematical models and astronomical observations to understand the structure and workings of the universe. Over the centuries, Hindu scholars have used this knowledge to unravel the complexities of the universe, reconciling their scientific discoveries with their religious beliefs. In sum, the deep connection between cosmology, religion, and science in Hinduism provides one of the oldest and most comprehensive understandings of the universe and human existence. Hindu cosmology explains not only the structure and functioning of the universe, but also the spiritual journey of humanity and its place in the cosmos. This holistic approach reveals the rich and profound philosophical framework of Hinduism. Among the sacred texts of Hinduism, the Vedas, Upanishads, and other ancient sources provide deep insights into the origin and structure of the world and the universe. These ancient scriptures are filled not only with religious rituals and moral teachings, but also with cosmological and philosophical knowledge. The Vedas, the oldest and most sacred texts of Hinduism, consist of four main parts: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharveda. These texts contain extensive information about the creation of the universe, the nature of the gods, and the place of man in the cosmos. The Vedas are regarded as divine wisdom and sacred knowledge and form the basis of Hindu cosmology. The Upanishads, considered the final part of the Vedas, delve into deep philosophical and metaphysical themes. These texts focus on the concepts of Brahman and Atman. Brahman is the ultimate reality and absolute being of the universe, while Atman is the individual soul or self. The Upanishads teach that Brahman and Atman are essentially one and the same, and that this unity is the basis of all existence. These ancient sources also describe the structure of the world and the universe. According to Hindu cosmology, the universe is multi-layered, with each layer representing different levels of existence. These layers include Burloka, Earth, Bhuvarloka, Intermediate World, and Svarloka, Heaven. These structures illustrate the complexity and multidimensionality of the universe. The Vedic texts emphasize the cyclical nature of time, represented by the four major cycles known as Yugas. These cycles, Satya Yuga, Golden Age, Treta Yuga, Silver Age, Dvapara Yuga, Bronze Age, and Kali Yuga, Iron Age, each denote different spiritual and moral levels. These cycles represent the continuous creation and destruction of the universe. In addition to religious and cosmological knowledge, these ancient texts also contain scientific and mathematical information. Vedic scholars used astronomy and mathematics to understand the structure and workings of the universe. These scientific approaches reveal the depth and complexity of Vedic cosmology. In summary, the Vedas, Upanishads, and other ancient Vedic texts provide deep insights into the origin and structure of the world and the universe. These texts form the cornerstone of Hinduism's rich cosmological and philosophical tradition and help us to understand humanity's place in the universe. Hindu cosmology makes a sharp distinction between the spiritual and material realms, a distinction that forms one of the deep philosophical foundations of Hindu thought and explains the multifaceted structure of the universe. The material realm represents the physical world that we experience in our daily lives. This realm is bounded by time and space and is in a constant state of change and transformation. According to Hindu belief, the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth, samsara, dominates the material realm, which is shaped by the law of karma. One's actions determine one's future life. The material realm is seen as a stage for spiritual development, a temporary stop on the soul's journey. The spiritual realm, on the other hand, represents an infinite and timeless reality beyond the material universe. This realm is considered to be the abode of absolute peace, happiness, and wisdom. In Hinduism, the highest level of the spiritual realm is associated with the concept of Brahman or Paramatma, the Supreme Soul. At this level, the individual self and man merges with the universal soul, transcending all mundane limitation. The process of reaching the spiritual realm involves increasing one's spiritual awareness and freeing oneself from worldly desires and attachments. Spiritual practices such as yoga and meditation purify the individual from the illusions of the material realm and bring him closer to spiritual truth. In the process, the individual discovers his or her inner nature and unites with universal wisdom. Hindu cosmology explores in depth the relationship between these two realms. The material world is seen as a reflection of the spiritual world, with a constant interaction between the two. Everything in the material world has a counterpart in the spiritual realm, and this reciprocal relationship maintains the balance and order of the universe. This distinction and interplay reflects the deep philosophical and cosmological underpinnings of Hinduism. While the spiritual realm is seen as the ultimate reality and abode of freedom, the material realm is seen as a necessary stage in the development of the soul. This understanding reveals the richness and scope of Hindu cosmology. In Hindu cosmology, the concepts of Brahma-jyoti and Mahat Tattva play a crucial role in explaining the origin and nature of material planetary systems and energies. Brahma-jyoti is described as the universal spiritual light. This divine light symbolizes the link between the material and spiritual realms and is considered to be the fundamental energy of all existence. Brahma-jyoti, a manifestation of ultimate reality in Brahman, pervades every corner of the universe and enlightens all beings. This divine light represents an infinite and unchanging reality beyond the material universe. Material planetary systems emanate from this spiritual light, Brahma-jyoti. Brahma-jyoti is considered to be the starting point of the creation of the material universe and the source of all material entities and energies. This light forms the building blocks of the material world and maintains the order of the universe. Mahat Tattva is defined as the fundamental principle and source of material energy. This concept encompasses the form of energy that contains all the components of the material universe. Mahat Tattva plays a significant role in the creation of the universe and forms the building blocks of the material realm. This energy derived from Brahma-jyoti gives life to all entities and processes in the material world. According to Hindu cosmology, Mahat Tattva is regarded as the primordial energy that triggered the formation of the material universe. This energy is the basis of all elements, planets, and life forms in the material realm. Mahat Tattva plays a vital role in the creation and organization of the universe, facilitating the constant change and transformation of the material world. The relationship between Brahma Jyoti and Mahat Tattva reveals the deep and complex structure of Hindu cosmology. As the divine and spiritual light of the universe, Brahma Jyoti is the source of Mahat Tattva, connecting the material and spiritual dimensions of the universe. This connection ensures the unity and balance of the universe. Hindu cosmology divides the universe into spiritual and material worlds and explains the different levels of existence and their interactions in detail. The spiritual world represents the highest and most sacred reality, while the material world is more transient and changeable. Golokadhamma is the holy abode of Krishna, the supreme deity of Hinduism. Golokadhamma is considered the ultimate goal for all beings and is a realm of infinite happiness, peace, and wisdom. This realm exists beyond the material world in a timeless and spaceless state. Krishna's divine play and love find their highest expression in this holy place. Golokadhamma is considered the highest and most sacred region of the spiritual world. Haridhamma is another important level of the spiritual world. Haridhamma is the abode of Vishnu and his various avatars. This realm is ruled by divine wisdom and peace. The various manifestations of Vishnu represent different aspects of the spiritual world and universal order. Haridhamma is the meeting place for divine beings and those on a spiritual quest. Asdevi Dhamma. This level contains all the components of the physical universe and is in a constant state of change and transformation. Devi Dhamma is where the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth, samsara, reign. This realm is bounded by time and space and governed by the law of karma. The material world is seen as a stage for spiritual development and a station on the soul's journey. Devi Dhamma is named after the goddess Devi, who presides over this realm. In this realm, the order of material entities and processes is governed by Devi's energy. The transient nature of the material world encourages individuals to strive for spiritual reality. In this realm, those on a spiritual quest aim to free themselves from material attachments and reach the spiritual realm. This distinction and interaction between the spiritual and material worlds reflects the deep philosophical and metaphysical underpinnings of Hindu cosmology. While the spiritual world is seen as the abode of ultimate reality and infinite peace, the material world is seen as a temporary stage for the soul's development. This dualistic understanding reveals the richness and complexity of Hindu thought. In sum, the spiritual and material worlds of Hindu cosmology explain the different levels of existence and their interactions. Golokadhamma and Haridhamma represent the highest and most sacred regions of the spiritual world, while Devi Dhamma reflects the transient and changeable nature of the material realm. This holistic approach reveals the rich and profound philosophical structure of Hindu thought. In Hindu cosmology, there are various paths of yoga that lead to the spiritual realms and spiritual enlightenment. These paths cater to the different spiritual inclinations and lifestyles of individuals and support their spiritual development. Among the most well-known and practiced types of yoga in Hinduism are Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Each path of yoga offers a different approach to entering the spiritual realms. Bhakti Yoga is the path of love and devotion. This type of yoga is characterized by deep love and devotion to God. Bhakti yogis express their devotion to God through various rituals, prayers, hymns, and meditations. This path embodies the desire to feel and unite with God's divine presence. Bhakti Yoga purifies the individual's heart and soul, allowing access to the spiritual realms. On this path, the individual approaches God with pure love and devotion, free from ego and worldly desires. Bhakti yogis surrender to God's divine grace and guidance. Those who progress on this path aim to reach the spiritual realms of Golokadhamma or Haridhamma. Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge and wisdom. This type of yoga aims for the individual to attain enlightenment through the acquisition of true knowledge. Jnana yogis seek true knowledge. Jnana yogis seek true knowledge through the study of sacred texts, meditation, and deep contemplation. This path aims to attain spiritual truth by purifying the mind and intellect. Jnana Yoga increases the individual's mental and spiritual awareness, allowing him or her to access the spiritual realms. On this path, the individual strives to unite with Brahman by understanding himself and the universe. Jnana yogis seek to attain the highest reality in the spiritual realm through true knowledge and wisdom. Karma Yoga is the path of action and service. This type of yoga encourages individuals to perform their daily actions and duties with a sense of devotion and service to God. Karma yogis perform their actions with pure intention and selflessness, free from selfish desires and worldly attachments. Karma yoga facilitates the spiritual development of the individual through his or her actions. On this path, every action is considered an act of worship and service. Karma yogis aim to achieve true freedom in the spiritual realm by surrendering the results of their actions to God. This path purifies the individual from the material world and directs him towards the spiritual realms. In conclusion, in Hindu cosmology, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga offer different paths to access the spiritual realms. These paths cater to the different spiritual inclinations and lifestyles of individuals and support their spiritual development. Bhakti Yoga aims to approach God with love and devotion. Jnana Yoga seeks enlightenment through knowledge and wisdom, and Karma Yoga strives for spiritual freedom through action and service. These paths of yoga reflect the rich and deep philosophical structure of Hinduism and guide individuals on their spiritual journeys. Vedic cosmology elaborately defines the structure and order of the universe by classifying planetary systems into a specific hierarchy. This classification explains the different layers of the universe and the spiritual and material characteristics of the planets within these layers. According to Vedic cosmology, there are 14 major planetary systems divided into 3 main categories: Urdhvaloka, Madhya Loka, and Adho Loka. Urdhvaloka encompasses the highest and most spiritual levels of planetary systems. It is home to divine beings and souls with high levels of consciousness. The highest levels of Urdhvaloka include sacred regions such as Golokadhamma and Haridhamma. These planets are realms of absolute peace, bliss, and wisdom. The planets in Urdhvaloka include Svarga, heaven, and Maharloka. Svarga is the domain of Indra, the king of the gods, and the abode of the demigods. Maharloka is a holy place where great sages and saints reside and engage in deep meditation and spiritual pursuits. These planetary systems are filled with high spiritual energy and pure consciousness. Madhya Loka represents a transitional region between the material and spiritual worlds. This plane includes the planets inhabited by humans and other living beings. The planets in Madhya Loka offer a mixture of spiritual and material experiences and play a crucial role in the spiritual journey of the individual. These planets include Burloka, Earth, Bhuvarloka, Intermediate World, and Svargaloka. Burloka is the planet on which human beings and other creatures live. Bhuvarloka is the transitional region between earth and heaven, where souls move within the cycle of rebirth. Svargaloka is the realm where demigods reside and where high spiritual experiences occur. Adho Loka comprises the lowest and most material levels of planetary systems. This level includes planets inhabited by beings of lower levels of consciousness and regions where punitive karmic experiences are prevalent. The planets in the Adho-loka are characterized by suffering, torment, and retribution. These planets include Patala, hell, and Naraka. Patala is a region inhabited by beings of lower energy levels, where distressing experiences prevail. Naraka is a realm where sinful souls are punished and purified. The planets in Adho-loka are places where souls experience the effects of karma and undergo purification. In summary, the 14 major planetary systems in Vedic cosmology are divided into Urdhva-loka, higher planets, Madhya Loka, middle planets, and Adho-loka, lower planets, and Adho-loka. This classification explains the different levels of existence in the universe and the spiritual and material characteristics of the planets within these levels. Urdhva-loka represents the highest spiritual level, Madhya-loka is the transitional region, and Adho-loka represents the lowest and most material level. This holistic approach reveals the richness and depth of Hindu cosmology. Vedic cosmology describes the different levels of existence in the universe and the conditions of life within these levels. According to this understanding, the upper and lower planetary systems shape the life experiences and spiritual development processes of soul. The upper planets provide ideal conditions for beings to live in peace and happiness, while the lower planets are characterized by more challenging and restrictive living conditions. The upper planetary systems include regions where beings of high consciousness reside and divine peace prevails. One of the best known of these regions is Svarga. Loka, or sky ruled by Indra, is the abode of the sky ruled by Indra, is the abode of the demigods, Devas. In this planetary system, there are no mundane limitations such as sickness, aging, or death. In Svarga, Loka, and other upper planetary systems, beings live in eternal youth and health. These regions are dominated by bodies of light and energy rather than physical bodies. Spiritual peace, happiness, and wisdom are the basic elements of life in these planetary systems. Demigods and beings of high consciousness perform their divine duties and maintain the order of the universe. The upper planets are considered important stations on the path of spiritual development and enlightenment. The lower planetary systems include regions inhabited by beings of lower levels of consciousness and characterized by challenging living conditions. These planets include Patala and Naraka. In the lower planetary systems, life expectancy decreases and sickness and suffering increase. In the lower planetary systems, beings experience various punishments and hardships due to karma. In these regions, physical bodies are denser and subject to material limitations. Life expectancy is short and sickness. Suffering and hardship are common. Patala is a region inhabited by beings of lower energy levels and is dominated by distressing experiences. Naraka is considered a hell where sinful souls are punished and purified. The lower planetary systems provide important lessons and experiences for individuals on their spiritual development journeys. It is in these regions that beings experience the effects of karma, purifying themselves and contributing to their spiritual growth. The lower planets provide the necessary trials for souls to free themselves from material attachments and achieve spiritual enlightenment. In conclusion, the upper and lower planetary systems in Vedic cosmology explain the different levels of existence in the universe and the conditions of life within these levels. In the upper planets, life is characterized by peace and happiness, while in the lower planets, life expectancy decreases and diseases increase. These planetary systems shape the spiritual development of beings and maintain the balance and order of the universe. This holistic approach reveals the richness and depth of Hindu cosmology. In Vedic cosmology, Satya Loka or Brahmaloka is considered to be one of the highest realms of the universe and the abode of Brahma, the creator god. This sacred place is home to beings with the highest and purest levels of consciousness, characterized by profound spiritual knowledge and peace. Satya Loka is the abode of Brahma, the creator god of the Vedic tradition. Beings in this realm reach high levels of spiritual wisdom and knowledge under Brahma's guidance. In this place, beings exist beyond the material world, independent of the limitations of time and space. In Satya Loka, there are Vimanas, divine vehicles that operate with spiritual powers and are controlled by mantras. Vimanas are described in Hindu mythology as flying vehicles or air chariots. These vehicles move with spiritual energies and divine powers and are used by beings in Satya Loka to travel and visit different realms. Controlled by the power of mantras, Vimanas allow quick and effortless movement between different planes of the universe. Vimanas are not only physical vehicles of transport, but also divine tools operating at high spiritual frequencies. These vehicles reflect the high levels of consciousness and spiritual knowledge of beings in Satya Loka. The use of Vimanas facilitates spiritual journeys and explorations that further develop the spiritual abilities and knowledge of beings. Beings in Satya Loka have reached deep levels of spiritual knowledge and wisdom. These beings understand the mysteries of the universe and the nature of creation under the teachings and guidance of Brahma. Satya Loka is the meeting place for those who have attained the highest levels of spiritual enlightenment. These beings possess not only spiritual knowledge, but also the ability to practice and spread that knowledge. As the abode of Brahma, Satya Loka is considered one of the ultimate destinations for those on a spiritual quest. At this level, the individual merges with universal truth and lives in absolute peace and wisdom. Finally, Satya Loka, Brahmaloka, is considered one of the highest spiritual levels in Vedic cosmology and the abode of Brahma. This holy place is home to divine vehicles controlled by mantras and beings of high spiritual knowledge. Satya Loka is a realm of profound spiritual wisdom, peace, and divine guidance. This plane represents the highest levels of consciousness in the universe and the ultimate goal of spiritual quests. The rich and deep philosophical structure of Hindu cosmology helps us to understand the nature of the universe and the spiritual journey of humanity. In Vedic cosmology, the different planes of the universe are inhabited by beings at different levels of spiritual development and consciousness. Among these planes, Tapa Loka and Jnana Loka are known as sacred places where great sages and saints reside and engage in deep spiritual practice and meditation. Tapa Loka derives its name from the Sanskrit root tap, which means to heat or to practice austerity. This realm is inhabited by beings who have attained great spiritual power and wisdom through deep meditation and tapasya, intense spiritual discipline and devotion. In Tapa Loka, the inhabitants work intensively to develop their inner powers and spiritual abilities. Tapa Loka is known as a place of high spiritual energy and peace, where great sages and saints pursue their spiritual quests. At this level, individuals aim to transcend worldly desires and attachments and reach higher levels of consciousness. Tapasya, practiced in Tapa Loka, is a deep meditation and devotional practice aimed at achieving spiritual purity and enlightenment. Jnana Loka is considered to be the realm where sages and spiritual teachers, rishis, reside filled with knowledge and wisdom. In Jnana Loka, The inhabitants strive to understand Vedic wisdom and the deep mysteries of the universe. This realm is a place where beings with high levels of consciousness share spiritual teachings and knowledge and enlighten each other. Sages residing in jhana, loka, work intensively to understand the nature of the universe, the spiritual journey of humanity, and ultimate truth. At this level, individuals attain universal wisdom and spiritual truths and discover their inner nature and place in the universe. Jnana, loka, is regarded as the realm where the highest levels of wisdom and spiritual enlightenment are experienced. In conclusion, tapa, loka, and jhana. Loka are sacred places in Vedic cosmology where great sages and saints reside and engage in deep spiritual practice and meditation. Tapa, loka, is inhabited by beings who have attained great spiritual power and wisdom through deep meditation and tapasya, while jhana loka is a realm where sages and spiritual teachers pursue their quest for knowledge and wisdom. These sacred places help us to understand the deep philosophical structure of the universe and the spiritual journey of mankind. In Vedic cosmology, the different planes of the universe are inhabited by beings of different spiritual levels. Mahaloka and Dhruvaloka are special realms known as the abodes of yogis, great sages, and holy individuals. These planets are home to deep spiritual practice and the quest for wisdom. Mahaloka is considered to be a realm inhabited by yogis and great sages with high levels of spiritual consciousness. It is known as a place of deep meditation, spiritual discipline, and the quest for wisdom. The inhabitants of Mahaloka seek to transcend the material world and reach higher spiritual levels. One of the most famous residents of Mahaloka is the great sage Bhrigu Muni. Bhrigu Muni is an important figure in Vedic literature, known for his profound wisdom and spiritual knowledge. The inhabitants of Mahaloka, including Bhrigu Muni, work hard to understand the deep mysteries of the universe and spiritual truths. Beings in this realm maintain their existence at high levels of consciousness, attaining universal wisdom and peace. Dhruvaloka is known in Vedic cosmology as the pole star and represents a fixed, unchanging reality. This planet is considered to be the abode of a great soul called Dhruva. In Vedic mythology, Dhruva is known for his great devotion and spiritual power. His devotion and loyalty elevated him to Dhruvaloka, the fixed point of the universe. Dhruvaloka is known as the most fixed and unchanging place in the universe, shining brightly as the North Star in the sky. This planet represents a stable and permanent reality in contrast to the ever-changing material world. The inhabitants of Dhruvaloka are high spiritual beings charged with maintaining the order of the universe. This planet serves as a guide and source of inspiration for those on a spiritual quest. Vedic cosmology explains in detail the multi-layered structure of the universe and how time is perceived differently in these layers. Time flows at different speeds on each planet and plane of existence, varying according to the spiritual and material characteristics of the planets. This concept helps us to understand the complexity and multidimensionality of the universe. According to Vedic cosmology, the perception of time on the moon, Chandra Loka, is very different from that on Earth. One day on the moon is equivalent to 6 months on Earth. This difference is due to the unique spiritual and material energies of the moon. The moon has an important place in Vedic astrology and mythology, and the beings who dwell there experience a different flow of time. This perception of time on the moon affects the lifespans and spiritual experiences of the beings there. Time flows more slowly on the moon, allowing beings to meditate and deepen their spiritual practices for longer periods of time. This different perception of time contributes to the spiritual development of the beings and their understanding of their place in the universe. Vedic cosmology states that time also flows at different speeds on other planets. Each planet has its unique perception of time, which varies according to its spiritual and material characteristics. For example, in Brahmaloka, Satya Yuga, time flows much more slowly than on Earth. One day in Brahmaloka is equivalent to thousands of years on Earth. This means that in the realm where Brahma resides and where beings with high levels of consciousness exist, time almost comes to a standstill. Similarly, the perception of time is different in other planets such as Svarga, Loka, heaven, and Patala, heaven. In Svarga, Loka time flows faster, while in Patala time flows more slowly. These differences shape the spiritual and material experiences of beings and help them to understand the laws of karma and dharma in the universe. Vedic cosmology emphasizes that time is relative and perceived differently on each planet. This understanding reveals the complexity and multidimensionality of the universe. This different perception of time allows beings to deeply understand their spiritual journeys and their place in the universe. The different flow of time contributes to the spiritual development and journey of beings. Each planet offers a different spiritual and material experience, and these experiences help beings to learn the laws of karma and dharma. These different perceptions of time are essential elements in maintaining the order and balance of the universe. In Vedic cosmology, there are many elements that describe the unique and mystical structure of the universe. One such element is the 7 types of oceans described in the Vedic texts. These oceans represent realms far beyond the material world and possess divine and symbolic qualities. Each ocean is considered a unique realm with its own spiritual and metaphorical meanings, containing different substances. 1. Salty ocean. The salty ocean is seen as a symbol of the seas and oceans of the earth. In the Vedic texts, this ocean is seen as one of the fundamental elements that define the boundaries of the universe and the material world. The salty ocean is also a symbol of the source of life and the continuity of existence. 2. Milk ocean. The milk ocean is known for its pure white color and nourishing properties. In Vedic cosmology, this ocean symbolizes purity, abundance, and spiritual purification. The depiction of God Vishnu lying in the milk ocean, maintaining the order of the universe, underlines the spiritual significance of this ocean. The milk ocean also signifies divine creation and preservation. 3. The curd yogurt ocean. The curd or yogurt ocean is described in the Vedic texts as having nourishing and satisfying properties. This ocean symbolizes the nourishing elements of life and the inner satisfaction of spiritual wisdom. Yogurt is obtained through the transformation of milk, and this transformation represents the spiritual journey and inner development. 4. Ghee, clarified butter, ocean. The ghee ocean is made up of ghee, clarified butter, which is considered pure and sacred in Hindu culture. Ghee is an important element used in rituals and religious ceremonies. This ocean symbolizes pure energy, purification, and spiritual light. The ocean of ghee represents access to spiritual purity and divine energy. 5. Sugarcane juice ocean. Sugarcane juice ocean represents sweetness and the pleasures of life. In the Vedic texts, this ocean is described as a symbol of divine satisfaction and happiness. Sugarcane juice expresses the sweetness of nature and universal joy. This ocean symbolizes the sweet aspects of life and the source of spiritual joy. 6. Wine ocean. The wine ocean has a different meaning and symbolizes spiritual ecstasy and divine love. This ocean represents the state of being intoxicated with deep love for God and divine consciousness. The ocean of wine symbolizes the state of spiritual rapture and liberation from worldly attachments. This ocean represents divine ecstasy at the pinnacle of the spiritual journey. 7. Freshwater ocean. Freshwater ocean is a symbol of purity, freshness, and the source of life. This ocean represents spiritual cleansing and renewal. Freshwater represents the continuity of life and universal freshness. The freshwater ocean represents the process of inner purification and spiritual renewal in Vedic cosmology. In conclusion, the 7 types of oceans described in Vedic cosmology reveal the deep and mystical structure of the universe. The ocean of salt, the ocean of milk, the ocean of curd, the ocean of ghee, the ocean of sugarcane juice, the ocean of wine, and the ocean of fresh water each have different symbolic and spiritual meanings. These oceans help us to understand the different aspects of life, spiritual development, and universal realities. The rich and deep philosophical structure of Hindu cosmology contributes to our understanding of the nature of the universe and the spiritual journey of humanity. In Vedic cosmology, the belief that the universe is cyclical and that all planetary systems are periodically destroyed and reborn is a fundamental aspect of the cosmic order. This cyclical process ensures the continuity and renewal of the universe, representing the infinity and constant transformation of existence. According to Vedic cosmology, the universe undergoes destruction at certain intervals, a process known as pralaya. Pralaya means dissolution or disappearance in Sanskrit and refers to a period during which all material entities in the universe temporarily cease to exist. During pralaya, all planetary systems, beings, and universal orders are destroyed, and the universe enters a state of dormancy. There are different types of pralaya, each covering a specific period of time. Naimitika pralaya occurs at the end of Brahma's day and represents the end of smaller cycles in the universe. Prakritika pralaya is a major destruction in which all material entities in the universe are completely dissolved and return to their original state, Prakriti. Atyantika pralaya is the type of destruction in which individual souls attain ultimate liberation, moksha, and are freed from the cycle of samsara. After destruction comes Srishti, the rebirth and creation of the universe. According to Vedic cosmology, when the period of pralaya ends, the universe is recreated and a new cycle begins. This process is necessary for the renewal of the universe and the continuity of existence. During Srishti, the universe is reshaped under the guidance of Brahma, with planetary systems, beings, and universal orders being reborn. This process takes place under the influence of creative energy and divine consciousness. In the new cycle, the universe is revitalized and beings are reborn to continue their spiritual evolution. The process of rebirth works according to the laws of karma and dharma in the universe. Beings acquire new lives and experiences based on their actions in previous cycles. This cyclical structure illustrates that the universe is in a constant state of change and transformation, where nothing is permanent. Vedic cosmology emphasizes that the universe exists in eternal cycles, with time being cyclical rather than linear. This understanding conveys that all entities in the universe are in a constant state of transformation and renewal, and that nothing is permanent. The cyclical nature of the universe plays an important role in Hindu philosophy, helping us to understand the transient nature of existence. The processes of destruction and rebirth maintain the universal order and ensure the continuous spiritual development of beings. This cyclical structure shows that the universe is a dynamic and living entity that is constantly changing. In conclusion, the processes of destruction and rebirth in Vedic cosmology represent the cyclical nature and continuous transformation of the universe. Through pralaya, the universe is destroyed, and through suraya, the universe is destroyed, and through reborn, initiating a new cycle. This understanding emphasizes the infinity of the universe and the continuity of existence. The processes of destruction and rebirth maintain the universal order, and ensure the continuous spiritual development of being. This cyclical structure reveals the rich and profound philosophical framework of Hindu cosmology. Thank you for watching this video. If you are interested in such topics and would like to receive more information and content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you can stay informed about our new videos and continue to explore this unique knowledge. See you next time.